Welcome back to the Young Crumbs podcast.
You've been eating stuff.
Eating stuffing mix.
The Mountain from Game of Thrones, if you ever watched it.
He has a little brother called the Hill.
Shut up. Shut up.
Elon Musk, one of the most intelligent people out there.
His son is going to have a lifetime of bullying.
This episode has no special guests. it's just Sean and Michael. It's just us. We're here. Welcome back to the Young Crumbs podcast.
Do we remember what episode it is? What did you write down there? Is that 32?
I was in the middle of the intro, mate.
Sorry. Didn't mean to cut you off there. Off you go.
No, by all means, you ask your question.
What's the episode?
The 33?
I swear it's like 34. Oh, God.
Yeah, we'll figure it out later.
You know what? Take a guess. Take a guess right now. You're saying 33?
Let's cover all our bases. Should we start again?
Yes. No, we can keep going. Oh, you want to start completely again?
No, we'll keep all this in.
Okay.
But start again and cover our bases.
Go.
Welcome back to the Young Crumbs podcast. We're back here with episode 31, 2, 3, 4, potentially 5.
I don't think it's 5. I don't think it's that far.
Probably 4.
Four's safe.
Probably 4.
I'm going to say it's 34. I think that's pretty safe. Or 33. Oh, you know what? Doesn't matter. I'm Sean, by the way. You are?
Michael.
How are you, Michael?
I'm very well, Sean.
We have to, another segment. At the start of every episode, we have to apologise to our fans for being useless hosts.
Oh.
Michael put up a post on our story last week, 2 weeks ago.
Not my fault.
It is.
So when I go on Instagram,
Yep.
I put up a poll, put up a message story that some people could message to us and like reply to the message, to reply to the story about like about topic ideas for last week's episode. Anyways, if you click on your story on Instagram, it wasn't coming up with those replies. Uh-huh. And then like 2 hours
You thought they were coming in your DMs.
And then, 2 hours later, but even if I go onto the story, it didn't have like, I couldn't see replies. It only said we had one reply and that was a DM.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I guess we got no replies. We're not very popular.
Which was very sad.
I was crying.
Michael was in tears.
To Sean after the episode.
Yeah.
We were like,
it was
terrible.
Tough. We still had a fine episode. I mean, I had topics, but we figured it out. We always skip through it.
We did things.
Honestly, the 10 minutes before the episode starts, it's just like, what do you got, man? Just brainstorm. What do you got?
Let's bring it in. What's the news of the week?
It wasn't until after the episode was uploaded, Michael goes, oh, wait, we did have some replies. So he pulled up the actual spot where you have replies.
Because I got a notification that said, I think I replied to your story. And I was like, oh, sweet. I second reply. And then it was one of like 8. And so now it was
like one of like 200, now 300
now we've got topics running out the
We have too many. So let's just quickly run them off.
No. We want to do some justice. We feel like last time we asked for topics, we maybe pumped through them a little bit too quickly and
we'll spread them out over multiple episodes.
Didn't do our readers justice. So they'll pop up.
They'll pop up.
They'll pop up here and there.
You want to explain the story we just put up quickly first?
Yeah. So we just put up a poll.
Yeah. Let me explain it. Okay.
This has been a little. You're going to put words in my mouth.
No. I'm going to be genuine.
When it comes to my words, I want you to point to me and I'll say.
Yeah. I just want to explain the backstory of this whole thing.
Okay.
So, like, this was years ago when this first conversation started. I won't say what you said because you can explain it. But basically, this whole podcast is great because you've got some wacky ideas, Michael. You know, and we love it because sometimes they work. Sometimes it's like, you know what, Michael, it's kind of smart. Never thought about that. This one though, I think you've missed the mark, but I'm not sure because I was like, you know what, let's put it to a poll.
See, I think I'm in the minority on this one.
Okay, so you want to explain? So from my perspective.
Okay.
What I assume you're getting at is you're seeing a special someone, boyfriend, boy, girl, whatever.
Yeah.
And you've gone on a few dates.
Yeah.
Now, in the past, you've claimed that you don't need to ask them to be your girlfriend or boyfriend.
Yeah.
You say you sort of assume that. You just sort of assume that thing.
Yeah.
And so is that it? Or am I butchering it?
No, it's basically
okay. Cool.
So the question is like, do you need to ask someone to be your boyfriend or girlfriend?
Pretty much.
Usually the guy asking the girl, do you want to be my girlfriend? Typically. Maybe there's a mutual discussion of, hey, what are we?
Yep.
But typically it's the guy saying, do you want to be my girlfriend? Now, I'm a firm believer in that conversation, unless certain circumstances occur, doesn't really need to be had.
Okay.
Because you would think you know that you're seeing them exclusively. And if you're at the point of a conversation of what are we, I'm pretty sure we're dating. You know, I might have. So I'm saying it in an obvious situation. Sometimes it's like you've never introduced them to your family, or you know, you might have gone on like say 15 or so dates and hung out at each other's houses, but like never introduced them to friends. Or
it's always at night,
and
9 o'clock.
And it's, see, like that situation,
yeah.
fine, have the conversation.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the situations
Things
where like
normally progress.
when things normally progress to like you've been seeing them maybe for 2 months, they've met your family, they've met your friends, you've hung out like pretty regularly, like you
messaging.
Surely you don't need to have that conversation. You would know if you're together.
Yeah, I feel like that conversation happens regardless, but I feel like in that sense where it's progressed, that conversation is real quick. It's just like we're going out, right? And it's like
fair enough.
It's not really much of a question. Like I get what you mean though.
I've heard people talk about it and they make a big deal out of like he asked me to be his girlfriend.
It's like, yeah, obviously he was going to come. I know what you mean though. It's a bit silly. It's like, well, obviously he's going to ask.
What were you expecting? Him to be hooking up with other people? Like, surely if you think like why it shouldn't.
We went out on a 16th date and he finally asked. Good job, man. Good job.
Fair, a question like that should never be a surprise.
Yes,
I think if it's ever
that's
a surprise,
a good way of putting it. That's a good way of putting it.
Look, I have no experience with proposing to people.
True,
but I consider
except
myself,
for that one time.
I do consider myself an expert.
Regardless.
If you're ever thinking of proposing to someone, the idea of getting married should not be a surprise to your partner. However, the only surprise that should come is the when and the whereabouts that you're going to do it, not the idea of marriage.
Yes.
If it's like, oh my God, we've never talked about marriage before, you're asking me to marry you, like yes or no.
And doing it in front of a group of people is even worse.
You should definitely have that conversation before
do it privately,
you do it.
man. Do it privately.
Hey, you want to get married one day? Maybe not for a bit.
Okay, cool.
One next date, you're like, fuck, I bought the ring.
Yeah, see, make sure that idea's out there. But I like what you said before. You were like, the question of being boyfriend and girlfriend should never be a surprise.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a surprise. Like there should be that conversation of where you're heading. Yeah. It'd be like, I'm not going to ask you out to be your girlfriend right now, but are we sort of heading that direction or is it not really going there? And you should be asking that earlier on. After you're like fourth, fifth,
usually
just be like, hey, are we like, we're good, we're still going all right. And usually you can tell, but sometimes you might not. So you're like, let me just ask. But you're not asking them to go out.
I feel like if you can't tell, it usually means your partner's not as invested as you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's different because people convey their feelings in different ways. If you know what I mean? Like some people be like, I don't know, previous experience, it's like, oh, you know, we message every day kind of thing. Yeah. But then with this new person, they're like, oh, I'm not a really big texter. Like, I don't really like texting. Yeah. I know that's with you sometimes.
No, I get that. My relationship with my parents is the same.
Is that a joke?
Yeah.
Just the way you like said it, and he didn't smile afterwards. I'm like, I'm not talking about your parents, Michael. But anyways,
sorry.
Thanks for ruining that.
Sorry. No, go on.
But yeah, like someone could be like, you know, seeing someone new, and they're like, oh, I'm not really into texting. I prefer like seeing face to face. So like, you might go like, I don't know, a few days, maybe even a week without messaging that person, and it's like, oh, maybe they're just not into me. Like I'm confused. But then they message you like, hey, let's hang out. And it's like, oh, are they? And then it's like, it's just sort of different. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. If you sort of have those questions, maybe don't ask. Maybe they're making it obvious.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know?
Hey, look, at the end of the day, people are complicated.
Yeah, that's true. People are complicated.
And maybe,
complicated?
And maybe...
Did I say that right? Complicated?
Compilated?
Compilated.
Look, people are complicated. And sometimes they do things in the wrong way. And we can't hate them for it. We can only just feel sorry for them.
Yeah, it's all those people who ask for them to be their girlfriend. Fuck you, man. Do you want to pull up the poll right now?
No, we'll give it a bit.
You want to give it a bit of time?
So
Okay,
towards
okay.
the we'll check in before the end of this podcast. We put up a poll saying,
We've put it up before.
Is it a bad thing? Like, is it a thing you need to do? Ask that question. And the way we phrased the question was, pardon me.
Do you need to ask the person you are exclusively dating to be your girlfriend/boyfriend?
Correct.
Yes.
No.
You say no, but I also think if the question of you're both exclusive, but like, how do you know you're both exclusive? You know? Do you ask?
Because you just know.
How do you know? Did you go through their phone?
Good question.
Hey, these bitches out here, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm imagining like a couple who have been married for 10 years and the husband's just cheated on the wife and the wife's to her friends like, I thought we were exclusive.
You never asked though. You never
When
asked.
was the last time you asked if you're exclusive?
When you ask?
Oh,
Those things
fuck,
change.
true.
Oh, I'm such an idiot.
Oh, I knew I shouldn't have got him Turkish Delight for Christmas.
Someone's like, she's like in tears. She's like, I've done something really bad. I've cheated on you. He's like, bro, you didn't. I've been doing it. Are we exclusive? Because I didn't think we were.
That's all right. I can afford to lose a side bitch.
You thought we were.
Shit.
Sorry.
Shit.
Oh no, this is really awkward.
Yeah, take your one hoodie back that you leave at mine.
Take the wedding ring.
Take the hoodie.
It's been fun.
Hey, look, it's a 2-door garage. You take one door.
You take one. We have a duplex. I'll have one side. You have the other. Fair deal. Fair game.
Bit of news this week.
Oh, is there?
We like to keep up with the current affairs.
Yeah, we do.
Harry Styles wore a dress.
He's gay.
No,
I'm kidding.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
No.
That's a joke.
Harry Styles wore a dress in the Vogue
photo shoot.
He's the first male.
Now, right there.
Wait, am I correct in saying? I'm pretty sure I am. First male to make the cover of Vogue.
No.
Yeah.
No, really?
Pretty sure.
I don't know. I wouldn't know.
Is
to be honest.
Is Vogue the brand?
Yeah.
Pretty sure it said first male to make the cover of Vogue. Or maybe I read it wrong and it was first male to wear a dress on the cover of Vogue.
It might be the second one. They were like, Vogue's like, right,
one.
you're the first male, but you have to wear a dress. And he's like, well, shit. You've got me. I'm going to have to wear it.
It reads like a fake, like an Onion article. On
Yeah,
Facebook.
100%. It's so stupid.
Harry Styles, first man to wear a dress.
Yeah. See, right there,
Period,
before
ever.
we've even explained the story, that's not the story, because
No.
who cares if he wears a dress, right?
No.
We're both in the camp of like, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Who gives a
Although,
shit what he wears?
Quick note. I was like, when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, sure, he wore a dress. But at the same time, a little bit of me was like, why did he wear a dress? He's not known for wearing dresses.
Well, I saw
This
it.
isn't something I've seen him do before. Why all of a sudden?
I guess.
And to that,
I guess why
it doesn't.
now?
It
Why
doesn't.
not?
It doesn't really matter. But I was also like, interesting. I was just interested. It was just
it's definitely interesting.
It was an
because
interesting
it's like
thing.
it's different. So it's like,
Yeah.
oh, cool.
like I didn't look at it and be like, that's Harry. If he wore big puffy pants,
That's that bloody Styles bloke again, isn't
if
it?
he-
He's always wearing those dresses, man. It's shaky.
if he wore some big puffy pants, then I'd be like, that's Harry.
Ah, that is.
No, that's the Harry I know.
He wore, yeah, but
But anyways,
yeah. Well, he had a quote, and he said, "I walk into girl sections of clothing stores, and I really because I like the style and stuff." Good for him, man.
I'm a bit jealous of girls' fashion.
Girls' fashion's so much more
You
complicated.
can do so much.
There's a lot more than just t-shirts and shorts.
There is.
Over there. Have you ever seen a girl wear pants and it has pockets and how unbelievably surprised they are about it?
It's amazing.
It's
wish
like seeing
I could be entertained by something.
it's like a dog finally catching like that car that it's been chasing.
It's
You know
like
what I mean?
a dog finally realizes that the shadow is him.
It's like it's like feeding a dog
so-
after like 2 days of starvation.
It's not. This isn't an insult on female intelligence.
No, we're
is-
just comparing it to a dog.
It's
Bitches. No, I'm kidding.
it's just that it's such a simple thing.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's such a big deal.
Yeah.
To a lot of women.
It's like
It's very entertaining.
you're like, cool pants, and they're like, yeah, it's got pockets, and you're like, cool, I guess. Don't all pants have pockets?
Welcome to the
And then
club.
that's when they're like, no, we don't have pockets. And then that's why pockets are a fabrication of the handbag industry. Because if there were more pockets, they would sell less handbags. There you go. Little conspiracy. Little conspiracy for you.
You would think that... I just came up with a brilliant sketch idea.
Oh, no. Here we go. What is it?
So the pockets thing in female fashion is obviously pushed by the handbag industry because they're like, instead of having pockets, you'll carry a handbag.
Yes.
But imagine the wallet companies, they're like, we could sell bigger wallets if we had bigger pockets.
Ooh. And they're fighting each other.
And then they fight, but the wallets win until the wallets become so big that now they're just handbags again.
We've come full circle.
And pockets are back to the regular size.
We've come full circle since the pilot morning. Yeah. That's sort of a funny one. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, no, that's good. But
there's something in it.
Women's wallets are pretty big though sometimes, so they normally just have to fit in a handbag.
That's a clutch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just
you know
have
why
to
it's
fit
called
in
a clutch? You have to clutch onto it. It's that big.
Is that actually what it's called?
Probably. No, they're called clutches.
What do you mean probably?
I don't know if that's...
Don't bring up false facts on this show.
No, they are called clutches, but I don't know if that's why they're
Usually I
called
just call it a
clutches.
wallet. You know what I mean? I don't go, hey, can I borrow your clutch?
I didn't know we were at that level yet, Sean. We're not even mutually exclusive.
Yeah, we're not mutually exclusive, Michael. Come on, man. I'm making another podcast. I'm about to tell you. Ooh. Yeah, give me your wallet is usually how it works, right?
Well, less aggressively.
Gun to the head.
Gun to the head.
A robber's come over to a girl and he's gone, give me your clutch. And she's like, what? What's that? Give it right now. Hand it over. Stop playing games.
Give me your wallet.
And he's like, what's a clutch? I don't get it. Bang. Girl's dead because she didn't know what a clutch is. A clutch is a wallet, ladies and gentlemen.
What if he said...
So if you're ever being robbed and you're confused, hand over your wallet.
And then someone says, hey, give me your wallet. And you're like, I'm not carrying one, only my clutch.
And then you get shot anyways. He's like, oh yeah, well what's this? That's a clutch,
That's
sir.
a clutch.
And you obviously don't inform yourself, do ya? It's just embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Anyways, back to the Harry Styles thing. Back to Harry Styles. Okay. So basically, he wore a dress, cool. No one really cares, except for a few people. They said...
A lot of people.
Well, I think it was probably just a loud minority.
I think a few.
Ben Shapiro was one of them.
Ben Shapiro.
He sent Ben Shapiro, for people who don't know, he's a... What would you describe him as? I know he's like a right...
I don't even think he classifies himself as right wing.
Oh, he definitely is though.
Yeah, his views definitely fall in line with it. But he's very critical.
But he's not a politician,
right as well.
so I guess you just call him like a...
He's a social commentator.
Social, yeah.
I guess he...
Makes stuff.
He makes videos and he has a Snapchat show or a YouTube channel.
Does he?
I think he's probably highly educated.
Oh, I mean, he's probably a smart dude, but does that mean he has the ability to tell people what to wear?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Did he do any fashion stuff?
He's the type of guy, he's very like if you get into an argument with him, there's a good chance you'll lose simply because he knows his facts.
Yes.
And he's really good at arguing and debating.
But is he good about arguing fashion? How many facts has he written about?
Well, this is the thing. That type of person, it's like they're a powerhouse in a debate, but then when you kind of look into their beliefs, they also tie it. But he kind of ties it back to religion a lot, and you're like, oh, okay, well they're.
Oh, is he religious? Is he?
He's religious. Yeah,
He's
he wears a.
Oh, is he Jewish?
Yeah, he wears I'm going to butcher the word.
He's tapping his head, ladies
Is it
and
called a
gentlemen.
ramika?
I don't know.
Something? Ika?
Oh, is he? I didn't know he was
the
Jewish.
little round hats that you wear on your head.
Yeah, so basically he tweeted out and he was like, I wish we had the tweet up, but it was something about, where's the masculinity gone? Why is this man wearing a dress? And it was basically like, shut up, Ben. No one asked.
And if you've seen Ben Shapiro, he's not exactly...
Look, he's not a 6'6", 150 kilogram footy player. Is he?
No.
He's
not what you would call traditionally masculine either.
No. I mean, I'm not trying to throw shade. You know what I mean? Don't throw...
No.
Look.
There's nothing wrong with the way he looks.
Nothing wrong. And there's nothing wrong with wearing a dress either.
There's only something wrong with the way he looks and when he criticizes people for looking a certain way.
Correct.
That's when there's a problem.
You can't throw stones.
Just like, what kind of a double standard is this?
It's like, where's the masculinity going? Ben,
Yeah.
you're not really extruding masculinity yourself there, mate.
He's oozing it.
No, he isn't. I don't think he is.
The only thing
But
is
anyways,
oozing.
it was just stupid. It's
Yeah,
like
it was just a bit
it was just
silly.
like, who cares what he's wearing? Does it really affect your life that much?
Oh, a lot of people. I saw a few. Like, there's a few TV personalities, like kind of right wing TV personalities
all
in
like
America
that,
that had problems with it. And a bunch of celebrities were backing Harry up on Insta.
Yeah, because
Twitter
it's just
and being
like, who gives a shit, mate?
It's like if
I
anything,
love a
it's-
dress up. Don't really wear dresses though. Do you remember gender bender in high school?
Oh, I tell you what,
Oh.
everyone secretly, I think more people have cross dressing things, fantasies,
It is
because the
think so?
moment people get the opportunity to do it, whoa,
all
there's
right.
a lot of
There's a lot of what?
gender bending that comes out,
Yeah.
and I respect it.
Look,
It's
we
fun.
both wore dresses because we had a gender bender thing in our final year of high school,
Yeah,
and it was one of the best days of high school ever. Dresses,
it's great fun.
dresses are so comfortable.
great fun
They are so comfortable.
until our Catholic school made us change into it.
Yeah, we
change
couldn't.
back out of it.
We were in for like 10 minutes. They timed us and they said, "Get out, get changed." But it was
till recess.
It was great. It was great. It
good
was
fun.
so much comfort. It was obvious. Yeah, it was just
Yeah.
very comfortable. Very comfortable. Maybe other dresses aren't, but the high school ones
That's cool.
that they wear,
Yeah.
good stuff, mate. Good stuff.
Tell you what, I always did think this growing up. It's like how like dresses would be awesome. It's kind of like just walking around in your undies to a degree.
Yeah, with like a fabric over the top.
Yeah, it was just like because you
Yeah,
have a
come on,
dress.
guys. Stop complaining.
Yeah, girls. Wait, tell you what,
All right, I'll tell you what to wear.
not a bad trade off. Pockets for dresses.
Ooh, are we making a deal, are we?
Yeah,
We're saying we'll give you our pockets
the trade-
if you give me your dresses. Shake my hand.
trade deal of the century.
Yeah, ooh.
I remember
I think I'd rather
in
pockets.
high school because a lot of the girls' dresses didn't have pockets. Some did. Some had a little zipper pocket, but the
Yeah.
girls' skirts didn't have pockets, and so the girls would carry their phones around in their breast pocket.
Yes, that's
But
right.
then the school came out and was like, "Hey, don't do that. We're going to start telling you to take your phone out of your breast pocket because it causes breast cancer." And then they were like, "We don't have pockets in our skirts. What are we meant to do?" And then
That's 100%.
then
The school just going, we don't want you to have your phone put in your, like, we just don't want to see your phone
Yeah.
out. That's 100% what it was.
Yeah.
Fuck that school, man.
Fuck that school.
Yeah, fuck that school. No, I didn't mind that school.
Hey,
Hey, man.
men are high. Fuck that school.
Yeah, bro, we went to Menlo
That's where
High.
we went.
That's where we went, yeah. We just told everybody where we went to high school. Holy shit. Whoa. Whoopsies.
Nah, they're all right. Remember,
They're all right.
remember when our school sent a letter home saying that they did not support
Gay marriage?
the gay marriage plebiscite that was happening?
That was fun. To our one American viewer, a few years ago, we had a national gay marriage vote.
Yeah, it was just
It won.
plebiscite, right? So it's not a vote to legalize it.
It's just sort of like a advice.
It was like
Hey, what do you guys think?
it was the equivalent of being at a gather and being like, "Hey, what do people think of pizza?
It's like,
Hey, who wants pizza?"
yeah,
And
it's
then
like
you,
saying,
get a few hands, but they're like,
but it's
okay,
ultimately you're the host and you're buying the food, so you change your decision and just get burgers anyway.
And
So
you
you're
get
just
burgers.
like sucked in. Yeah, it ended up, I think it was like 52 to 48, which is
No, it was. I think it was bigger than that.
I
think
swear it was like closer than you
close
think.
to 60% in favor.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
and
yeah,
then,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
nothing happened for a year and a half or something.
I swear it was like 6 months. But anyways,
Really?
they passed it.
Okay,
And where was I going with this?
now legalized in Australia.
Legalized in
Gay
Australia.
marriage.
And you mentioned, oh yeah, and then our high school.
I think you're about to mention that it was the beginning of the end, and now we
Yeah.
have men wearing dresses
Oh,
on
it's
the
horrible.
Vogue cover magazine.
And I'm involved. I'm involved because those dresses are comfortable as. I'm like, Harry, I'm behind you, bro.
In our opinion,
Pure
I'm dragging you
functionality.
into this. It has gone too far.
Don't drag me into your beliefs.
Nah, I'm just joking.
You're the most
They're not my
least.
beliefs.
What are your beliefs? You hate gays?
No,
I knew it.
no, I love them too much. Even
Yeah, it's kind of
I
weird.
hate myself for it.
Yeah, basically, our high school sent out a letter. Like, they sent out 2 letters. I remember one being, like, pretty much. I remember, like, them handing out the letters, and then we had, like, a yearly grade meeting. And I remember the year coordinator's like, look, it's not my decision to put this out, but it's the letter.
It's coming
basically
from the priests that run our
It's coming from
education.
higher up. Please don't hurt us.
Yep.
Please don't egg my car. That's pretty much what they said. And then I don't remember opening it. I just remember throwing it out because I was like, I don't really care. What
I
these
read
people-
it and then threw it in the bin on the way out.
Do you remember what it said? It was pretty much just like, hey guys,
A lot of people were pretty angry.
it was pretty stupid. I
It
mean,
was very dumb. Like, why would
like,
they say that? at
why
all?
would you? Well, it's their belief, but it's just like,
Doesn't matter.
whatever.
matter.
It
A
just
tea-
comes down. Obviously, yeah. But I remember there being two things. I remember one being a letter saying, "Hey, we don't like this," and then another letter being
It was a
coming
link.
from someone else higher up, being like, "Hey, we also like, hey, it's up to you guys. It's your choice,"
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like, please don't. We're not all like this person. Please don't hate us. Please don't egg our car, kind of thing.
It was the equivalent of an apology video.
Yeah. I am very sorry for my actions. Well, how did that one go? I forgot. I have severe lapse of judgment. How about we talk about one of the topics that we got? Because you've got
Okay.
the things over there.
Yeah. Okay, let's start strong.
Oh, start strong. Fuck Sarah. All right.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all we're saying.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, wait, let me make that very clear.
Oh, hang on. What was that?
Fuck Sarah Ramsey.
Oh, Sarah Ramsey. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's what it
okay.
says here.
Nah, Next topic.
Next topic.
Just read the top one. Get it out of the
You
way.
reckon?
Yep.
All right.
We can go
Sterilizing crackheads. That's a strong one to come out with.
It's a strong one to come
Oh, you
out
want to talk
with.
about shitty Movember people?
Oh.
Ooh. Yeah, I'll talk about
We can
that.
do both.
Yeah,
There's
we'll do
enough
both.
time.
Which
Okay.
one? Which one do you want to start with?
Let's start with crackheads.
All
Um,
right. Yeah, let's start with crackheads.
this episode's been really good.
It's just funny.
been very funny.
All right, sterilizing crackheads. Well,
Okay.
Go.
So someone said this. This is a suggested topic. We're not going to name.
It says Michael O'Brien right next to it.
We're not going to name the listener, but
Yeah, okay.
temporary.
Name and shame,
it said temporary crackhead sterilization.
Basically, what that means is you sterilize, as in you can't give them the ability to have a baby while
take-
they're addicted to crack.
Yeah.
I've
Except
never heard of this before, ever.
I don't know if temporary sterilization is
Is a thing? Yeah.
I think that's just what they'll say to the crackheads to get them in.
Hey.
Get them in. Be like, hey, do you not want to have to worry about kids and have all the crackhead sex you want? Then this is the place. Come in here.
Hey, come get your
Come get
your sterilization.
sterilization.
We'll like give you one crack for
Yeah.
one sterilization. I don't know how crack
One
works. Just one.
Hi,
one.
can I have one crack, please?
Here you are, sir.
Thank you.
Delicious.
Oh, it comes in a doggy bag.
So you've given me two cracks.
Look, the problem
Oh,
with
sorry,
this,
mate.
we've talked about this on the podcast before,
Have
and
we?
it's that sometimes you have these thoughts that are like, well, it's such a good idea, and you kind of get in the mentality of like, if I could run the world, I would do some pretty inhumane things, but it's for the greater good.
Is that one of them?
This is one of those things where it's like, well, yeah, obviously you hope that people addicted to crack can't have children or won't have children because that's just a neglect situation waiting to happen. But at the same time, you're taking away people's rights.
You're taking away their
very-
physical
very-
ability, something that they're born with. You're born to make a baby, and you can't because the government says no.
You're not taking away their rights. You're mutilating someone. But do I still think it's a semi-good idea?
I think it's a bad idea.
Nah.
Super
like,
bad.
In reality, absolutely not. Terrible thing
Like
to
I
do.
100% get it. They should be having babies, but it's also who are you to go over? There's such a grey area there.
It's one of the things where it's like,
If it's temporary,
in a fantasy world, if you can just like click your fingers and people addicted to crack can't have babies until they're off it, then
until they're off it for like a year,
yeah,
totally cool.
Fantastic.
Like there's like a temporary thing.
like, the
They
thing is,
they detach the.
we live in the real world, and
Give me
things
those.
things
You
are,
get them back in a year.
we live in the real world, and things aren't that simple.
Yeah, exactly.
As much as as good as it would be.
Yeah,
But
I'd love to hear from the person that suggested that. Like, do you believe it as well, or is this just sort of something that you heard of?
It's more like
or-
a joke, or
I don't think it's a joke, but
know.
like I agree. Like they shouldn't be having babies when
No.
they're in those kind of situations.
yeah.
But it's also their physical right.
Mm.
It's like saying like it's you're controlling the body. It's like you're allowed to go over baby if you want, but you probably shouldn't.
It kind of opens up a.
It's a moral thing. It's like why are you going in there, man?
It opens up
You know what I mean?
broader question of like, am I trying to protect human life that doesn't even exist or may not exist? It's what are my responsibilities as a person?
Yeah.
It's not anyone's job to do that.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. As good as it would be to say, man,
fuck those crackheads, man. You've convinced me. hey, fuck them kids. Yeah, no. Interesting topic. I'd love to hear what people think.
Well,
you know what I mean?
What I was saying was that it's one of those things that
I don't care what you were saying.
It seems so obvious that you're like, yeah, wouldn't that be great?
Yeah,
but at the same time,
yeah, good idea.
It's a slippery slope to a
genius
to a dictatorship.
Do you want to go do? Yeah. It's pretty serious.
You know, I'm sure. Hitler,
but then it just goes back to like, okay, why are you bringing up Hitler?
He was a dictator. It's a natural progression of the conversation. Let me run with it for a bit.
It's always your number one dictator pick. You know, there's multiple other ones you could pick from.
Name 4 other dictators.
Stalin.
Yeah, the one that also ruled at the time of Hitler.
Mussolini.
Okay.
That's 2.
Yeah, you've just named.
And there's a couple Chinese ones. Or Kim Jong-un and King John.
Oh,
is his dad.
What, father and son?
Yep.
I don't know.
It's a combo.
Can you name a 5th? Scott Morrison.
Wait, no. Who's the Victorian Premier?
Gladys Berejiklian.
No, that's the New South Wales one.
Wales.
The one who was like had Victoria in lockdown for like 6 months or something. It doesn't matter. Yeah, but like, I'd say him, but he wasn't.
That was just jokes about Scott Morrison. I don't know enough about Australian politics to.
Michael, are you dissing the big ScoMo, mate?
Hey, look.
Seriously, mate?
I have nothing.
Remember those bushfires?
For or against the man.
They were cracked.
They were pretty cool.
They were cracked. They were cooked as.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we done with the whole crackhead talk?
There's not much to go into, is there?
Well, yeah, I'll give we're giving our opinions. It's like, it's exactly what you said. It's a good idea, but hard to execute and hard to sort of maintain. If you can
Also incredibly unethical.
Incredibly unethical, but, you know, anyways. You know. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
You know what I mean?
Do you think we should bring in another listener topic?
Yeah? Let's do it.
Co-ed versus non-co-ed schools.
So what does that mean?
Co-ed means boys and girls. Non-co-ed means just boys school or just girls school.
I've heard from people who've been to just boys and just girls schools, and they said they wouldn't do it again. They wouldn't put their kids into it again.
Okay, I was going to say they're finished school. They don't have to.
I never want to go back to the place ever again.
I would say that about my school too.
I'd say co-ed because I feel like it's important to understand how each other sex operates. You know what I mean? Like, you have to understand how they are.
It's very much like team. It's just working in an environment with females.
It's working with a female and guys. You know what I mean? You don't have to like them, but you have to understand that they're different.
See, I came from a family of just boys.
Yes.
Apart from my mum, I was just. I only have 3 brothers.
I thought you meant all guys.
I have cousins.
2 dads.
I have cousins that are girls, but I wasn't around them enough to like learn much from them, kind of thing.
Now you've got no idea how they work.
So I think being at a co-ed school helped me a lot, at least understand what
it'd be important for you.
You know,
yeah.
Whereas you came from a family with 2 sisters.
I've got 2 sisters. Yeah. Just bitches, man. No, I'm just kidding. I hope my mum hears that. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Love you guys. Yeah. Well, I still think even if you have sisters, I'd still.
You think it's?
I think non-co-ed schools. I guess I might be wrong in claiming this. Are dying out. I feel like it's sort of a. There's still a few around, but there's definitely a lot more co-ed than there is non-co-ed.
It's very much a private thing. I think it's like
it's a very private boys.
I think it stems from tradition and religion.
Yeah,
I think because it's rare.
A lot of tradition.
It's rare to find a public school that's just all girls, and it's rare to find a public school that's just all boys. Whereas a lot of Catholic or Christian or like private schools or like independent schools are like non-co-ed.
Yeah.
So, and I think it just stems from like boys learn how to be boys and girls learn how to be girls.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is
I mean, it'd be a lot easier to
just
teach.
a bizarre.
You think?
Oh, yes and no. I can give a bit of a teacher's perspective.
Oh, we hate teachers on this show. But,
Boys in a classroom, they forgive and forget.
Yeah.
I can yell at, like, I could, like...
Yell at Timothy.
Not yell, but, like, I could have a go at a kid, seriously, one lesson.
Yeah.
And the next lesson, he'll walk into my room and it'll be sweet. It'll be like,
have
it
a bit
never
of banter.
happened. We would have forgotten it.
Yeah.
You know, it's in the past. Shit happens, we move on. Right? It's a very, like, boy way of doing things. Like, you just get over things.
You just get over it, yeah.
Girls hold grudges.
Yeah.
Like if you ever have a go at a girl student, they will not be like that for maybe potentially years, because they'll hold that grudge against you for a long time.
Oh god!
And as a male teacher, I find it incredibly difficult to discipline or like pull girls into place in the same way that I do boys.
Yeah.
Like I can say to a bunch of boys, like, pull your heads in, like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
But girls, like, they just blow you completely off and they make you feel powerless.
Yeah, yeah.
It is like, it's so much harder as a male to like get through to girls.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like it'd be the same way around as well.
Yeah.
That's why like woodwork teachers are mostly guys. Not saying they're all girls, but like, because a guy's easy to pull in other, like a dude's going to be easy to talk to other dudes. And like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So whereas girls, like a girl teacher would find it really easy, I find, maybe, to reel in other girls because they sort of know how they work.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really interesting though.
It's like, but even like a girls' school, I think the effort levels, like generally student attitudes would be much higher.
Oh yeah,
because
100%.
generally girls
are a lot more mature.
They're more mature for their age and they're much better students. But like discipline wise, I would be so I'd be underwater. I'd be drowning. Like I wouldn't know how to do it.
Yeah, no.
Like you'd have to just like pass it on to another female teacher because you
Help
just
me
can't,
out.
You just can't deal with it. Yeah.
They're getting to me, man. I'm crumbling.
I'm being bullied by a bunch of 14-year-old girls.
Shut up, man. They hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
You right, Mark? You want to talk about it?
Yeah, no, it's all good.
You're good?
Interesting thing about co-ed, I think it's just a weird tradition. Like these days we're moving into a world where women and men are very much, maybe not very much, but like we're heading towards a society where we're on the same level.
Yeah.
In terms of like business opportunities, like
that's the way it should be.
If I walk into any job, like now as a mate, like I've worked in, hospitality, retail, whatever. Like I'm now working in schools, and if my higher ups are female or male, it doesn't surprise me at all. Like.
Doesn't matter.
It's very much equal opportunity, at least in the fields that I've been in, it seems. Maybe other fields aren't as much like that.
Well, I do
more of a, STEM, for example.
Yeah, well, I do engineering, and I have an internship, and it's there are some girls there. Yeah. So, but the majority are all guys, and that's not because there's. I just think there's equal opportunity, like you said, but. Whether they went somewhere else, I'm not sure, but who knows?
Well, I know the sheer fact that like STEM fields are heavily dominated by men puts girls off going into those fields.
Oh, for sure, it would.
Which is unfortunate because like it's a big field.
There's plenty of opportunity. Like if you were a girl and you were doing engineering, there are so many. The universities and the workplace have an incentive to hire girls. Yeah. So you might not be, the brightest engineering student. You do all right, but you'd have a higher chance of being hired than a male because it's just larger because they just want more females in the workplace. Trying to push which I guess is sort of fair enough. Thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you're hiring in terms of diversity rather than skills... I guess that's sort of where you get a little mixed up, but
I think it's
if you have two equal people and you're going to hire like one's male, one's female, you're like I might as well get the female because we don't have a lot of females in the workplace. Yeah, you know what I mean?
See, I feel like I've talked about this to friends before that are girls, and they say that like they don't like the idea of being hired into a field or being
Just
given
because you're a girl.
just like for like being a diversity hire, like that kind of rubs them the wrong way.
Yeah, it's weird.
It might not everyone, but it's the same for like being a male teacher is pretty like there's not as many male teachers out there. And if you're heading in, say, primary school, if you're a male primary school teacher,
Yeah, that's pretty big.
you'll get you get snapped up pretty quick smart because there's no male primary school teachers, and they're like, we need to give some kids some male role models that aren't their dads kind of thing. And it's like you just get snatched up really quickly.
It's a good idea.
But it's like, if I was a male primary school teacher, I think I would be I don't like the idea of me getting a job over someone way better than me just because I'm male.
You're a male, yeah.
Because I won't provide as good of an education to these kids as that.
Oh, it'd be hard to be a primary school teacher. It'd be
I
tough.
couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it either.
No.
There'd be too much cuteness. You know what I mean? Cute little kids running around. But it would also be hard.
Nah.
Not like that, you dick. But it would also be...
No.
What?
I was just saying, like, they're not cute. They're little
really?
devils.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck them kids, man.
Yeah.
You want to talk about it? Some
it's
little
all
kid
good.
hurt your feelings?
Nah,
It was a little girl, wasn't it? She
Yeah.
insulted you.
I didn't know how to deal with it.
Like, shut up, Michael. You make a bad podcast. Oh, man, you hurt my feelings. Yeah, I don't know. Co-ed and non-co-ed's an interesting topic. I'd love to hear from someone who actually went to an all-boys.
It's an old-fashioned notion.
I'm pretty sure my cousin went to an all-boys school, and he said he frequently went to, like, there was, usually when there's an all-boys,
They integrate.
there's an all-girls nearby, and they have formals together. They frequently sort of mingle, so that kind of thing, but...
They catch up at the train station.
I also think
sorts.
it's important that, because in a workplace, it's males and females.
Yeah.
Whereas, and school's sort of setting you up for that kind of thing where you earn money in a workplace. I mean, not always, but it's sort of what it is.
Yeah.
And you sort of just have to get used to working alongside girls and being alongside them, or boys, you know what I mean? Other way around.
There was I found myself a bit bored at work the other day, and I was looking up some ABC, like, insight segments on, like, the ABC News channel in Australia.
Yeah.
And there was a story about, a lot of them were about education.
Yeah.
And I was watching one about a Sydney boys private school. I can't remember the name, but they
Menno High.
They were under, like, intense scrutiny for, there was a video that got released of some students of theirs, all male students in, like, year 10 to 11 or whatever, on a tram, chant, like, you know that Irish drinking song? And it was like, we went to the pub and the pub was full, and like
And they
everyone
go,
cheers.
yeah.
It was kind of that style of chant, but it was just like super sexist, like derogatory chant about women being holes in the ground.
Yeah, okay.
Like, and that you want, it was just like, I'm not going to repeat the lyrics, but it was bad. And there was a huge investigation about, like, are private schools really teaching a higher level of education, or are they kind of pushing an old notion of men are men and women are women? And was this shown through this, like, and apparently a lot of private schools, they just sweep stuff under the rug. Like, there's a lot of dodgy shit that goes on behind at private schools, and a lot of it just gets, like, brushed under because they have to protect their image.
I mean, there was stuff that happened at our high school that got swept under the rug. I'm not going to say anything.
100%.
But there was some serious stuff that sort of goes untold of.
It's also a case of, like, you might be protecting victims in a case. Yeah. So there's a difference between sweeping something under the rug
and also being like, we want to protect families
and protecting people's identities, basically.
But about that story, like, we went to a co-ed school. Is that right? Yeah. I'm pretty sure there were girls there, right? There were? Yeah. And look, I don't want to say boys will be boys an excuse. It's definitely not. Like, they said some pretty bad stuff in public, but guys say some pretty messed up stuff, and I've heard it too. Yeah. Maybe not chanting that, especially in a public place.
Now that you mention it, I do remember, like, a thing, like, it was a thing for, like, the guys to just start yelling tits out for the boys.
Yeah, it was.
And it's like, you know,
at just other schools and stuff sometimes.
Just random times.
And it's just like, we were never involved. No way.
No. See, like, looking back, it's like, I knew it was...
it's bad. Like,
it was probably wrong.
But it's like, what am I going to do? There's a bus full of guys. You're like, hey guys, come on, let's not do that.
Let's not do that.
And what am I going to get? Get my head dunked in the toilet when I get back. You know what I mean?
Like,
it's like, this is a school's problem. not sure.
Be real. You're not about to stand up to like
Yeah.
the male patriarchy when you're 14 years old.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly
mean?
Yeah. You might be clapping,
I don't know.
but never saying it. Getting involved in the chant,
yeah,
but you're not saying anything.
It was,
But, yeah, that's not good.
it was-
I remember in high school, we never chanted anything derogatory, but I remember I used to be in a volleyball team, and we used to go on Fridays, we'd go to an oval. We used to verse other schools, and we used to just chant, like, just stupid soccer chants on the way there. Like, what do we think of insert blank soccer team that volleyball school that we're versing?
Yeah, okay.
Shit. What do we think of shit? That exact school.
yeah.
Thank you. That's all right.
Yeah.
We hate that school. We hate that school. And then we just carry on. It was never in public, but it's just stupid stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, see, it's just like, similar sort of thing. It's like, in the moment, it's just a dumb thing.
It's just,
I don't think, like, whether what you're saying is offensive or not, like, that's not really that offensive, that thing.
Yeah.
But, like, saying tits out for the boys, like, it's pretty, like, looking back, it's, like, kind of a disgusting notion.
Oh, it definitely is.
But at the time, you're not thinking about that because
No.
you're young. Like,
And stupid.
you're literally, at that age, you're literally incapable
Yeah.
of
Like, they shouldn't
thinking-
deserve
of-
a pass.
of thinking outside of your bubble and thinking about like how people can be hurt by your actions. It's actually
Yeah.
a thing that like that's what adolescence is.
Yeah.
Like you don't think about the greater scheme of
The
things.
greater good.
The greater good.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah,
don't.
well-
you just don't.
That's just what kids are. Like, we've all done stupid stuff when we
Yeah.
were young. And it's like,
not-
they should definitely deserve a slap on the wrist, but like,
And it's not a
let's not get
it's not a
too-
justification. And I
no
think-
way.
And I don't think it's a reason to not push a movement into like a better world.
Maybe
where
not
that
be
doesn't-
doing
where
that.
that doesn't happen. Kind
I
of
remember
thing.
we had a chat. We had a meeting with one of our teachers, and it was all the guys.
I remember.
Do you remember
this.
that one?
Yeah.
And it was like, I forget specifically what it was about, but it was like, I remember him showing us like cartoons, and he was showing about how
Yeah.
the wife was skinny, like Family Guy, for example.
Yeah.
Lois is very skinny, Peter's very fat. Simpsons, Marge is very fit.
Yeah,
Homer's fat.
Peter's a dumb slob. Not Peter,
Peter,
sorry.
Homer.
Homer is basically like
And
a
it
dumb
was just
slob.
like, basically described, I forgot like what the whole thesis was, but it was like,
It was basically saying that like
treat women with respect kind of thing. I
whether
think.
like whether you think it or not, like
Yeah.
these little things have been drip fed into our society since like, and it's basically the notion of like you don't like women don't need to be treated like they're worth what like they're
It was basically
they're
just like
worthy
don't
kind of
be
thing.
dicks to girls
Yeah,
kind of thing.
that's
That
what the
was pretty much
general
what-
talk was
yeah,
about.
Yeah.
But yeah, that specific thing was it was like a bit eye opening. We're like, oh fuck, like they are kind of sending a message
Yeah.
that a really strong and like powerful woman will settle for a slobby
a
guy,
fat-
like
yeah,
a fat slobby guy
fit,
who's obviously
stupid
not
idiot.
very intelligent.
That's what it is on the surface level.
Mm.
But like obviously if you watch like The Simpsons and stuff, they have a healthy marriage. But like
Do
you
they?
get well, they do, but like, you know, Homer's a sweet guy. I'd marry him. You know
He's
what
a
I'm saying?
sweet dumbo.
But yeah, Dumbo.
Dumbo.
Yeah, that was I remember that. That was a funny conversation, wasn't it? Not funny, but
I think it was a bit eye opening because, like, I know
was- it was interesting.
We're at the age where we're probably starting to like respect.
we were in like year 11.
the
People in
male
relationships, like things were
Oh, we were younger than that. We're like year 9 or year 10,
nah, no way, bro.
and I think we even talked about porn consumption for a second.
I think so, yeah.
For a second, and
Well,
it was just like it's not like the media and whatever you're watching don't really portray healthy,
Yeah, healthy stuff.
like
yeah.
you know, like equality, and it was just a push to say like, which I think is really good.
I think it was like year 10.
It was about year 9, or I'd say
I don't think it was year 9 because
okay, maybe year 10.
I was in a relationship and it was in year 10, I think.
One thing I kind of want to know is like, did something happen that triggered the response of we need to teach these kids this, or is it something that they always have a talk to the boys about? And
I remember
always have
I
a
thought
talk
it was
to the
pretty
girls
random.
about?
I thought it was pretty random. I didn't think it was like that particular talk that we had with that teacher. And everyone respects that teacher as well.
Yeah.
He was a very nice guy. I don't remember it like nothing ever came.
Yeah.
Nothing happened before it. There wasn't like a significant event where
No,
someone
yeah.
did something to a girl. It was just very rudimentary, I guess.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I liked it. And then we asked the girls because like it was obviously boys had the meeting.
Do you know what they talked about?
No, they went and played sport on the oval. I remember asking.
right.
I was like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
I was like, yeah, I guess they don't really need to talk.
Imagine
about.
coming out of a meeting, like, the same thing happened. No, really, I won't tell that actually. That's kind of it's work related. But, like, imagine getting the girls together and being like, hey, this is the society that you currently live in. And, like, these are where you're having to talk to boys in the other room because you're probably going to experience some shit in the next couple of years. Just letting you know. Just a forewarning. Imagine how shitty that must be.
It'd be awful.
Like, being, like, I can't even imagine, like, being a bit older now. You don't think about it when you're younger. But if I had a daughter, bro, I'm like, I know what she might have to deal with growing up. And that's...
I mean, you hear stories from... I'm not going to call anyone out here.
I have countless friends who have
friends,
terrible stories.
Like girlfriends that we know have like this happened to them or this, and you're like, that's horrible. And they're like, you know, and it's like, wow, sorry. Like, shit. Yeah, it just makes you feel... I remember talking to you about it. I was like,
know how to react.
It makes you feel shit to be a guy. You're like, guys can be dicks.
You're like, fuck,
that's such an awful thing to say.
Yeah,
or
you
do.
feel awful.
Yeah. Yikes.
No wonder people have like...
Not like other guys, man, you know. Us, me, Michael.
Yeah, maybe that's why it is important to ask if they want to be your girlfriend. We've come
He's
full
done
circle.
it. He's done it, guys. Yes. Yeah. That's why it's important to ask the question. Clear communication, guys. That's what's important. Sorry for yelling. It's very
Should we
important.
check the Instagram?
Yeah, pull it up.
We got 10 minutes left. We've covered 2 topics of our...
I want to talk about the Movember one quickly.
Okay, we can talk about that while I... before we move on, the polls.
Oh, the polls.
The polls.
We looked them up. It's about a 75% to yes.
77 yes, no. And then
like the rest is no.
Yeah.
So, there you go. Well, I mean, it's exactly what we expected. You thought you were in the minority.
So people think...
I
know I'm in the minority.
I thought it was going to be more 80.
But I also
80,
think
20.
I'm right.
That's Michael for you.
Sometimes majority doesn't think... Majority
just
isn't
because
always
people
right.
don't agree with your opinion doesn't mean it's wrong.
Exactly. I've been telling that to round earthers for years.
I've been telling it to people who like people wearing dresses for years. Doesn't mean I'm wrong.
I've been telling you.
That's sarcasm, by the way.
I feel like this episode's had a lot of like sarcastic, offensive humor.
Yeah.
We want to reiterate.
We just want to reiterate.
Whatever we've said, we mean the opposite. And that includes all the talks about women's rights.
Yes.
Wow.
No. Let's move on. I want to talk about this Movember thing.
Okay.
So I mentioned this after the episode. So basically my nitpicking conversation is Movember's all about men's mental health.
Yeah.
Very serious issue.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of guys get amongst it. They make pages. They grow their mows out. People donate. I'm all for it.
Should we first state that we have 3 close friends that
we have 3 close friends that are doing this, and this has nothing to do with them, by the way.
Nothing to do with them.
This is about someone else.
And this isn't one of those sarcastic moments that you should take with a grain of salt. This is real.
It's real.
Nothing to do with them.
Nothing to do with them.
Other people.
This is completely... Yeah, not those 3 people, I swear. They'll know who they are. I'm not talking about you guys.
Yeah.
So there was one, like, you know those people that, like, they're just not nice guys. They're just not a nice dude.
Yeah.
But you still see them.
Just dicks.
Just dicks.
The type in high school that were like light bullies. They were like the free...
Even now.
They were like the free app version of a bully.
Yeah.
Like,
what?
Okay. They weren't, like, you wouldn't say that they were like severely bullying people.
Because they weren't punching people in the face.
They would definitely have fun at people's expenses. They would kind of
rude comments.
Be general dicks.
Even now.
Rude comments.
21-year-olds.
Misogynistic stuff. Anyways.
21-year-olds making rude comments to you or others about stuff that maybe they don't want to talk about in conversation. Things that just like, you're just not a very nice person.
Yep.
You're just not.
Yep.
And what annoys me is when they make a Movember page and it's like, you don't care about men's mental health. No. You don't. Like, you really don't.
Yeah.
What annoys me is
you would be a nicer person if you
men's
did.
mental health is a 24/7, 365-day thing. It's not just for the month of November.
Any charitable cause is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, it's raising awareness, I guess, but you have to live that. You have to be like, hey, I care about, like, my friends. I don't want to, you know, I'm all for it. Like, I'm not perfect. I'll probably piss some people off. But at the end of the day, I'd like to think that I'm nice enough to be like, hey, if anyone ever wants to reach out, you know, I've got your back.
Hit me up.
It's important.
Definitely.
But there's people that are like causing men's mental health to maybe not be
Diminish.
perfect.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you shouldn't really be making a Movember page. Maybe you should.
Yeah.
Not like, I'm all for it. You're doing it for the right idea.
I get ya.
But
Yeah.
you're just not a nice guy.
It's just, it feels like a company, say a big tech company that's known for like slavery or something,
Yeah.
pushing a human rights campaign.
Yeah.
That's
It's like, you don't
we're
care.
making a move into better. And it's like, this is a
care.
publicity
This is
stunt.
a publicity stunt.
Like you're
exactly
like,
what it
I
is.
know you and you're not the best person.
Yeah.
So why are you talking about men's mental health like you care about it?
It feels like their friends made one and they're like, oh, I got to get involved because otherwise I'd look bad if I
Maybe.
don't grow a mow out and get
Maybe.
people to donate.
Yeah.
It's like you don't,
Yeah.
like, you can still participate in Movember without having a page and donating. You know what I mean? I don't have one. You don't have one. I'm still going to
No.
donate to my friends' ones because
Yeah.
I love to see the support. It's
Yeah.
a good idea. It's a good cause. But
Definitely.
when you're just not nice people, when you're just
Yeah.
not a nice guy, don't make one.
I feel like there's an undertone of sadness to it because I think those people don't realize.
They definitely don't
They don't
realise.
realize the impact that their words have and
Yeah.
like how they come across to some people,
It's one of those.
and that like they think they're being friendly or just bantering or joking,
yeah.
but it's like, no, you're saying some pretty arsehole things.
yeah, that's
Let's
a
ba-
really rude thing
Let's
to say.
back it up a bit.
Yeah.
Like, there's no need to say that.
They're like the type of people that when you bring up the fact that they said this particular thing with a conversation with someone else, they're like, oh yeah, that's just XYZ. He always does that. It's
yeah.
like, that doesn't make it better.
That doesn't
He's
make
still
it
a
better.
dick.
Yeah.
Still a dick.
Comes back to the same thing you mentioned before the podcast. It's like being aware
Being aware of your
that,
own
like, that someone's an arsehole
doesn't make them not an arsehole.
not an arsehole.
They're still a dick.
And it goes the same way. It's like people being tolerant of an arsehole because they're like that a lot of the time.
Doesn't mean they're
doesn't
not.
mean they're not an arsehole. It
Yeah.
means they're an arsehole, but you're being tolerant of it because reasons.
Yeah, for
And look, I
want to
I'm
be
not,
friends.
I'm not perfect. Like, I've been.
Neither of
like,
us are, but-
I think every person lives at least a tolerant lifestyle towards some people in their life like that. But it's
But
like,
this particular
where do you
like
draw
people,
the line?
it's like
you know.
It's like, yeah, I don't know. It's like, I'm not saying check yourself before you make a Movember page, but you should be caring about men's mental health all year round. You know what I mean?
All year
You should just
round.
live it.
All
Live
year
it and
round.
breathe it. You should just be like,
Exactly.
hey, you know, whether it's a friend's going through some, maybe you shouldn't bring up things that someone's going through, you know? Stuff like that.
Exactly.
Maybe don't make rude comments. I don't know.
Exactly.
Maybe just don't be a dick. Just put that on a shirt. Don't be a dick.
So you just said a sentence about like maybe don't bring up something that someone's going through, or maybe do like to help them or something like.
There's a difference between
not
bringing
in front
it
of
up.
other people, but
There's a difference between bringing it up. Like, I've been in this situation where I'm going through something, right? And they go, "Oh yeah, I heard like you're doing this, haha." And it's
Yeah.
like, that's not a nice way of bringing it up.
No.
Or just like, if you think that's the way to do it, that's not the way to do it.
What you do is you're like, if there's ever a question of you're not sure if it's okay to say something, like say a mate just broke up with his girlfriend, and you're like, this is mainly a guy's example. Girls might function a little bit differently. You know,
We went to a co-ed school and we still got no idea.
no clue.
No clue.
No clue.
Never got taught that.
I don't have sisters. You can't blame
You
me.
don't. You don't have sisters, man.
Maybe-
Hey, it's not my fault. It's not my fault.
But like it's just, if you're unsure of whether something's okay to bring it up, the only person that can really give you a definitive answer is the person who's involved with the thing you're talking about.
Correct.
So it's like, if your mate just went through a breakup and you're not sure, or if like, say a semi close mate broke up with his missus or his girlfriend and you're not sure about it, like if it's something that you're talking about or bring it up, either ask him and be like, hey mate, everything
one-on-one.
all right? You know, what's going on? You know, everything good? Or you just don't say anything and you push the conversation onto the billion other topics that could be said.
If it's a semi-friend, maybe that person doesn't really want to talk to you about it.
Usually-
Maybe ask one of their friends and be like, hey, I heard such and such. Is he all good? But you don't. But if you're not doing that and you're jokingly bringing it up, in that case, you're not being a nice guy. You're not being a nice guy.
I think if you are going to bring it up in front of, like, say, a small group of tight-knit friends, then you bring it up in a very nonchalant way.
You bring it up in a
You'd be like, so how you going since...
Hey, I heard what's going on.
Yeah.
Everything all good.
How you going since thingo?
Just don't be a dick.
You don't be like, oh, heard you. You don't.
Heard you did this.
You don't make any assumptions about the way that they might feel.
Exactly.
Like, like, oh, how's single life, mate? Treating you well? You're like, oh, it's terrible. I cry every night to sleep. Thank you.
Thanks for
reminding me of that.
You dick. Yeah. No,
we're laughing, but it's like that's
it's the reality. It's things that happens. It's like you just
be nice people.
With that, I get it, because for those people who do that, who bring it up in like a jokingly way, oh, I heard you did this. They think that they're bringing it up. They think they're doing a nice thing by bringing that up.
I think it's a sense of they think they're desensitizing the situation.
Yeah,
it's
by laughing about it.
If the person talks about it and they get exposed to like their own emotions and their feelings, then it'll get better. But it's like it's not always the case.
But if you've ever been in that situation of breaking up with someone, we both have. Yeah, you don't want to bring it up. You're just like, I just want to have a time with my friends. I don't want to bring any of this shit up unless I'm like with a close friend. Yeah. When there's 10 of us, I don't want to talk about it.
This isn't an AA meeting.
This is not the time to talk about this shit. This is just like so dumb.
I think also
that's my little rant.
Just a little tip for breakups. Yeah. Often they're very private.
Very.
Like, and the reasons a couple might break up could be very private, and it might be something that, like, even though they're broken up, they might not want to fully share because it involves another person that was a big part of their life, and they don't want to put words in their mouth or like, push ideas onto other people about that person, type of thing.
You hear a lot, so it's like, when
just give it a
when people break up. There's a lot of he said, she said, whether you're involved in it or not. Whether it's a mate of yours or you're in it, you hear like, oh, I heard this person did this, and I heard you've heard, like, I heard this and this. And it's like, you're making it worse by doing that. Yeah. By going he said, she said. Yeah. Whether maybe bringing up to the person, be like, hey, I've heard this. I don't know if it's true. Like, maybe you should know that. But when you're going to another friend and going, oh my God, did you hear what happened? Oh my God, I think it's true though. You're just making it worse. Like, just don't do that.
See, like, you and I have a lot of those private discussions where we talk about each other's personal, feelings and personal lives.
For each other.
And so, like, I've been in a position where I've been in a social setting where someone's talked about your situation, not knowing all the details, and they say something completely wrong. And I'm like, no, I've talked to Sean, and that's not the case.
That's not what happened at all.
Very far from the truth. Like,
and then you tell me, and I'm like, and I'm like,
and it's just frustrating. It's like, I didn't push that belief on anyone, and that's what's being circulated.
It just sucks because it happens to everyone. I'm not going to name you, but I was talking to a close friend who's going through like a very similar situation, like just broke up, his girlfriend, very, very emotional. And he was like, I remember I brought it up. I was like, oh man, like, I remember when I was going through it, it's the drama that really annoyed me. Yeah. And he's like, tell me about it. That's exact. Like, he was talking about all this stuff. I won't get into details, but I'm just like, dude, I've been there, man. It fucking sucks. Like, just see close friends, and it's like, why are you spreading rumors when you don't know? Yeah. If you don't know, like, if you hear a rumor, you're like, oh, look, I'm not sure if it's true. Like, I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. You don't need to spread it. Yeah. Anyways, it's a little rant, but fuck.
Also, quick tip for anyone out there. If you ever tell someone something, assume that they will tell their partner.
Yes. Why? It just
happens.
Yeah.
It just happens. Yeah. If I confide in a friend, then it, like, assume that thing could go back to their partner. Unless you specifically ask them not to, or it's like something real serious that doesn't need to be said, then like it usually gets back to the partner.
It's often a double pack. You tell one, the other one's probably going to find out.
What I mean is, like, say Sean was telling me something, like there's a good chance, or say Sean was telling another friend something, that friend would tell their partner. Yeah. Like their girlfriend or boyfriend.
They will.
They almost always do.
They almost do every time.
Hey, look, I'm the same. Like, it just happens because you're in a relationship with that person. You tell them a lot of things,
and like it often, usually you'd hope to trust that other person and be like, hey, don't tell them anyone else. Yeah. You know what I mean?
The problem occurs. The problem that occurs is when that person that person's partner or your friend's partner is friends with the person that you're maybe talking about, or in a situation with, like a breakup situation. So it like all gets around and spread and gossiped, and it's like, oh, okay, that's how things
Group
go down.
scenarios are hard when it's just like big groups.
We did it for a bit. It didn't last very long across
What do you mean?
the board.
We did what?
So our high school friendship group,
Yeah.
we started dating within the group. And
We dated for a while.
A bunch of guys in the group started dating a bunch of the girls.
And some of
in
them
the
are still
group.
together.
And we were all, some are. One?
Two.
And but everyone else is split ways.
Yeah.
But it's very like, it becomes very gossipy when it's all confined in
Small
one group of people.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it just is like,
When your ex knows all of your friends and you know their friends, it's just like
when you're involved with both parties, it's hard.
it's hard.
It just is.
It's hard
Because it's human nature to like look out.
like pick a side.
Yeah, like look out,
Yeah.
kind of look out
It's
for
hard.
the people you
Yeah.
look out to support both, but also be
It's
like,
not a team sport, man. You just don't need to pick a side. You just sort of need to stay out
you
of it.
need to stay out of it.
Unless that person
let people
asks,
do what they're
you know.
doing.
But anyways, yeah, it's tough.
Oh well,
Oh well, it happens, you know.
things
Mhm.
happen.
Things happen.
Things happen. I'm
Are
not
you
gonna.
gonna-
I was gonna say,
What are you gonna say?
pens get bought.
Oh,
we avoided it this week.
Shit,
but
I
it's-
forgot about
I
that.
don't think it's gonna happen.
No, I probably
I've
should.
decided it's probably a bit tasteless.
Sure.
Follow the Young Crumbs podcast on Instagram.
Oh,
at
okay.
The Young Crumbs podcast, no spaces, no underscore, no dots. Your Instagram, Sean, is?
At Sean_Wool99.
Mine is MOB_Y_Dick.
That's
Moby Dick.
Moby Dick.
We've been the Young Crumbs podcast. Thank you very much for listening, and fuck Sarah Ramsey.
Fuck Sarah Ramsey.